Bernie Sanders, the senator from Vermont, his presidential campaign is on a roll. This was the scene in Denver, Colorado on Saturday night. Sanders held a rally and spoke to a massive overcapacity crowd at the University of Denver. The university estimated roughly 5,500 people attended the event. The gymnasium was so packed, an overflow crowd watched Sanders from the lacrosse stadium where the speech was played on the scoreboard. It appears Saturday's political event was the largest of this 2016 election cycle season. Hillary Clinton's campaign estimated her kickoff rally in New York of a crowd of about 5,000. The Sanders' huge turnout should have the Clinton campaign somewhat worried. The Ed Show was on the ground in Denver on Saturday night. To say the crowd was excited would be an understatement. Don't underestimate this man, Bernie Sanders. The Vermont senator is electrifying Democrats around the country.
That this nation and our government belong to all of us and not just a handful of billionaires.
After packing Minnesota rallies and surging in Wisconsin straw polls, one organizer sent a warning to the Hillary Clinton camp. Objects in your rearview mirror are closer than they appear.
There's more than just Hillary. There's something else that's out there. There's an excitement. There's something that's a little more, I don't know, fulfilling.
I love Hillary, but I don't agree with a lot of the things that she talks about, especially with, getting big corporations out of politics.
We are losing our democracy to the highest bidder, and it's just not a good thing.
Really what we need, because it's turning into more of a oligarchy.
I'm worried that Hillary really is going to be for that trade agreement.
He's willing to kind of say the unpopular thing that needs to be said.
On Saturday, Sanders hosted one of the largest rallies of the year.
And I said to my staff, look, we're going to LA. Why don't we see if we can get a room in Denver? And let's see if we can, bring a couple of hundred people together.
Over 5,000 people RSVP'd to the Colorado rally.
After about 10 minutes after the email went out, we knew we had to change the venue.
People traveled from across Colorado to hear what they call a true candidate for the people.
I think he's honest, and we don't have that.
A president shouldn't be a fancy celebrity that rides escalators and flies on these magical vacations and motorcycle trips to Iowa, but he's a person who's here to do a job, and it's not about him as a celebrity. It's about what he can do for the people that he wants to represent.
I think he really has a talent for concisely explaining what everyone is thinking.
Bernie Sanders is the first politician in my life that represents the people.
I'm not into politics at all, they intimidated me, I guess, in the past. I didn't feel I had a place with it. I understand what Bernie's talking about.
I really appreciate how he promotes accessibility for the common citizen.
This is no celebrity tour. It's apparent people showing up are astute on the issues and stand with Bernie. They stand with him on trade and fighting inequality.
Draws intersectionalities between campaign financing and wealth inequality and just the state of democracy in the United States.
I like the idea that he wants to change the amount of pay for workers.
When people like us are working 60 hours a week and can still barely afford to survive, but people like the Waltons are getting tax breaks of more money than I'll ever see in my lifetime, there's something wrong.
To actually have a candidate that backs labor and backs unions, and I think it's our nation's path to recovery, to rebuilding the middle class, and it's absolutely exciting to see a candidate step out and recognize it and support it and endorse it.
I'm born and raised in Detroit, so I grew up the son of a factory worker who worked hard to get workers' rights and labor unions, the UAW. So I'm always sensitive to what any agreement may do or what it may mean for workers.
Colorado says they're ready for Bernie Sanders to go all the way.
speaks a different voice that we're not used to hearing.
I think this is the opportunity to broaden our political spectrum and not an opportunity that should be missed or overlooked.
With the crowd that you guys see here and the crowds that he's generating or drawing across the nations, you can bet that Bernie is being heard, and we'll hear his voice reflected in whoever the nominee is for the Democratic Party.